Okay, today we're going to be creating and simplifying expressions to represent word problems. So first let's talk about what does it mean to simplify. To simplify an algebraic expression, combine all like terms, apply distributive property, and follow any applicable algebraic and exponent rules, and rewrite an expression as simply as possible. So we have talked about so far this objective, combine like terms and applying the distributive property. An algebraic expression is in simplest form when it has no like terms and no parentheses. So we're going to go through these examples. Write an algebraic expression for each word expression, then simplify the expression. Number 1, if a rectangle has sides x plus 8 feet and 3x minus 3 feet, what is the perimeter of the rectangle? So what I'm going to do to start is draw a sketch of a rectangle. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to draw a rectangle, and I'm going to label the sides. So with a rectangle, I know that these two sides are equal to each other, and these two sides are equal to each other. So if I label one side x plus 8, I know that this side is also x plus 8. And if I label the top 3x minus 3, I also know that this side is going to be 3x minus 3. The perimeter means the distance all the way around the rectangle. So all I need to do is add all of the sides together to create this expression. So I would say 3x minus 3 plus x plus 8 plus 3x minus 3 plus x plus 8. And that would be the perimeter of this rectangle. So now that I've written this whole thing out, I don't have any parentheses to eliminate in this example. So I'm just going to combine like terms. So first I'm going to start with the x's. So I have 3x, 1x, 3x, and again 1x. So if I add all of those together, 3x plus 1x plus 3x plus 1x, that is 8x. And then I just need to add all of my constants. So I have -3, +8, -3, and +8. When I combine all of those, I get 10. So my simplified expression to represent the perimeter is 8x plus 10. Number 2, a triangle has side lengths of 6x plus 3, 2x plus 5, and 8x plus 5. What is the perimeter of the triangle? So again, let's draw out a triangle and label the sides. So I'll make this side 6x plus 3. This side can be 2x plus 5. And the last side will be 8x plus 5. Again, the perimeter is just the length of all the sides combined. So let's write out the expression. 6x plus 3 plus 2x plus 5 plus 8x plus 5. Now combine like terms. So 6x, 2x, and 8x can be added together. And that gives me 16x. Then I can combine 3, 5, and 5. And that gives me 13. So my simplified expression for the perimeter is 16x plus 13. So those are the perimeter problems that you'll be seeing on your practice today. The other types of problems you're going to see are consecutive integer problems. So this says write an expression that represents the sum of 4 consecutive integers. So let's think of a number line. A number line has consecutive integers, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. So if I don't know which integer I'm starting with, my starting integer will always be x. And no matter what number you start with, to get to the next consecutive integer, you're going to add 1. Because if I start with 2, to get to 3, I would just add 1. To get to 4, I would add another 1. So my first consecutive integer is x. My second consecutive integer would be x plus 1. My third consecutive integer would be, if I start with 2, I would have to add 2 to get to 4. And this one's 4 consecutive, so I'm going to get a fourth one, and this, of course, would be x plus 3. So now, if I want to get the sum of 4 consecutive integers, I need to add all of these together. So I'm going to be adding x plus 1 plus x plus 2 plus x plus 3. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 x's, and 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. So the sum of 4 consecutive integers is 4x plus 6. Okay, number 4 is write an expression that represents the sum of 3 consecutive even integers. So this is the important part. We only want to look at even integers. So let's go back to my number line here. Again, if you don't know which number you're starting with, your first integer will always be x. We don't know where we're starting, but we do know that it's even. So let's again use the example of 2. If this is my starting integer, how many do I have to add to get to the next consecutive even integer? Well, the next consecutive even integer is 4, so I would have to add 2. And then another 2 to get to the next one. So if my first one is x, my second one would be x plus 2, and my third integer would be x plus 4. Now this works the same even if this said odd, because if you started with an odd integer, 1 for example, you would add 2 to get to the next odd one, and another 2 to get to the next one. So even or odd will always be plus 2 plus 4 and so on. So now we can add these together. I have 3 x's, 3x, because again, we are looking for the sum. That's why we're adding these together. And 2 and 4 makes 6. So 3x plus 6 is an expression that represents the sum of 3 consecutive even integers.